The Nigeria of late 70s and early 80s that we can recall is absolutely and undoubtedly not the same with the Nigeria of today. The Nigeria of even early 80s was a country where people were even sleeping outside their homes because of security and tranquility. There was no hunger at that time. You could find people without money, but there was no hunger. There wasn't anything like moral decadence. There was respect for elders. So if you look at the Nigeria of 1980s and the Nigeria of today, you will strongly agree with me that absolutely there is no any major similarity between them. And this always reminds me to ponder and to reflect upon some verses in the Quran. And if you look at the verses carefully, you will see like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in some ways. The Quran narrates to us the situation of the people of Saba, which is very similar to our situation of today. لَقَدْ كَانَ لِسَبَإٍ فِي مَسْكَنِهِمْ آيَةٌ جَنَّتَانِ عَنْ يَمِينٍ وَشِمَالٍ كُلُوا مِنْ رِزْقِ رَبِّكُمْ وَاشْكُرُوا لَهُ بَلْدَةٌ طَيِّبَةٌ وَرَبٌّ غَفُورٌ فَأَعْرَضُوا فَأَرْسَلْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ سَيْلَ الْعَرِمِ وَبَدَّلْنَاهُمْ بِجَنَّتَيْهِمْ جَنَّتَيْنِ ذَوَاتَيْ أُخُلٍ خَمْطٍ وشيء من سدر قليل ذلك جزيناهم بما كفروا وهل نجازي إلا الكفور, as in Surah Saba verse 15, 16 and 17. If you read the story of the people of Saba, they were living in peace and tranquility with abundant provision from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were enjoying their lives, but they disobeyed him. And Allah Ta'ala completely replaced their peace and stability with insecurity. And he also replaced their provision with poverty and hunger. They were living in peace and tranquility, but because of their disobedience to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the situation was completely changed. So the situation of the people of Sabah is very similar to our country, Nigeria, when we partake in a comparative analysis between the Nigeria of 80s or 70s or even early 90s and the Nigeria of today. It is because of this, it is important that even individually, we need to partake in self-accountability, self-judgment, self-evaluation, self-criticism, and self-assessment. Because if each and every one of us will be able to identify one weakness with him and amend, we can clearly say that at least Nigerian problems, we have -1. If you can address one, we have another -1. If I can address one of my weaknesses, then another -1. So it is important that we always partake in self-accountability, because as long as we continue to be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then undoubtedly Allah has covenanted to us that that situation will return back to us, inshallah.